Sometimes a single sentence from a parent can stay in a child's mind for years, shaping the way they see themselves. In a modest neighborhood lived a hard-working father named Rashid and his 8-year-old daughter, Amina. Rashid loved his family deeply, but life had made him impatient. Long work hours, endless bills, and constant pressure followed him everywhere. By the time he returned home each evening, he was often exhausted. One evening, after a particularly difficult day, Rashid walked through the door looking completely drained. Before he could even sit down, Amina ran toward him, her eyes shining with excitement. "Papa, I helped set the table today!" She looked incredibly proud. Carefully, she picked up a glass of juice and carried it toward the dining table with both hands, walking slowly as if she were carrying something precious. But just as she tried to place it on the table, her fingers slipped. The glass fell to the floor and shattered. For a brief moment, the room went silent. Amina froze. Rashid reacted without thinking. "Can't you do anything right?" he snapped, his voice sharper than he intended. "You're always making mistakes." Amina's small shoulders stiffened. Tears quickly filled her eyes. "I'm sorry, Papa," she whispered. But Rashid, still frustrated, only muttered, "Sorry doesn't fix everything." That night, Amina went to bed quietly. She didn't cry loudly or complain, but something inside her had changed. The next day at school, the teacher asked the class to solve a difficult math problem. Usually, Amina loved moments like this. She enjoyed trying new things and often raised her hand even when she wasn't completely sure of the answer. But this time, she stayed silent, staring down at her notebook. Days turned into weeks, and slowly Amina stopped trying whenever something seemed difficult. One afternoon, her teacher finally noticed. After class, she gently asked, "Amina, you used to enjoy trying new problems. What happened?" Amina hesitated. She stared at her shoes for a moment before answering softly, "My dad says I always make mistakes." The teacher felt a quiet ache in her chest. A few days later, during a school meeting, she spoke with Rashid and carefully explained how Amina's confidence had suddenly disappeared. Rashid listened without saying a word. Then the teacher said something he would never forget. "Children believe the words we repeat to them." On his way home, that sentence echoed in Rashid's mind again and again. He remembered the broken glass. He remembered Amina's trembling voice. "I'm sorry, Papa." That evening, he found her sitting at the table, quietly drawing. "Amina," he said gently. She looked up cautiously, almost as if expecting another criticism. Rashid sat beside her and took a slow breath. "I was wrong the other night," he said. Amina blinked in surprise. "Breaking a glass doesn't mean you always make mistakes," he continued softly. "In fact, mistakes are how we learn." Amina looked unsure. "Really?" Rashid smiled. "Really. Even adults make mistakes every day." Then he added something she had never heard him say before. "I'm proud of you for trying." For a moment, Amina simply stared at him. Then, slowly, a small smile appeared on her face. The following week in class, the teacher asked another difficult question. Amina hesitated. Her heart beat a little faster, but this time she raised her hand. She still wasn't sure if her answer was correct, but she tried. And in that small moment, something inside her began to heal. Years later, Amina would grow into a confident young woman who loved solving problems and learning new things. But Rashid never forgot the lesson he learned that evening. Sometimes one sentence can break a child's confidence, and sometimes one kind sentence can rebuild it. Because the words we speak today may become the voice a child hears inside their mind for the rest of their life.